Doing the pitching for Greensboro, North Carolina, number 2, Hamlet Basin on the mound. The left-hander, the first pitch to Estrada is on the way, and it's in there for a called strike. We are underway at 12:08 on a Saturday afternoon. It's Dave McKenzie. Thank you so much for watching on our live stream, wherever you're at. We appreciate it. As the pitch from Hamlet is outside, 1-1. Third pitch way inside, runs it to 2-1. Basin Hamlet, the starter for North Carolina. Defensively, as you look around, Lee in left, Johnson in center, Jenkins in right in the outfield. The pitch is lifted in the air to left field. That is Lee that camps under it, makes the catch to the side, and there is one down here in the top of the first. As you look at the infield for North Carolina, Donnell at third, Ream at short, Tompkins at second, Hairston at first, Brady doing the catching, and as we say, Basin Hamlet, the pitcher. Here's Jonathan Bernal at the plate as he fouls the first one off. Bernal wearing number 2, plays it short. Last night, he went 0 for 4. He walked, 0 for 3 with a walk last night in the loss to Southern Illinois, 8-7. Stands on the right side of the batter's box. Beautiful day in Southern Illinois, a little warm right now, 88 degrees, about 92 the expected high. As the pitch from Hamlet, a little bit high. So, both of these teams need to win to keep going. They'll play one more game regardless, as each team is guaranteed 3 games in this tournament. The previous game just completed. It was Bay City, Michigan over Marion, 12-3, a dominating performance from Bay City. The pitch inside actually hits Bernal, and he is going to take his base as it was hit by a pitch by Bryson Hamlet. Rafael Villalobos, the first baseman for Mazatlán, Mexico, steps in. Last night, Villalobos went 2 for 4, 2 singles in the game. He takes the ball outside to start here in the bottom or the top of the first for Mexico against North Carolina. 1 ball, no strike, 1 out here in the top of the first. Pitch fouled off to the left and out of play. This Mexico team, it was a long game last night against Southern Illinois, as it didn't get done until almost midnight, and there were fireworks after the game. Villalobos, 16 years old, likes the Boston Red Sox, and was a David Ortiz fan. He bats from the left side. Pitch is outside for 2 balls and 1 strike. Likes history. And lives in Mazatlán, Sinaloa in Mexico. Pitch inside, 3-1 from Bryson Hamlet. With 1 down, 1 runner on. That is Bernal at first. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Outside, so 2 runners on now as Villalobos gets the walk. Bernal scoots down to second base, and hitting cleanup, left fielder Ruben Rodriguez. Ruben wears number 100. You don't see the triple digits on the jerseys that much, but he wears it. Mazatlán, Mexico in their jerseys, bearing the colors of the Mexican flag, green, red, white, a little bit of gray mixed in there as well, as the first pitch is in for a strike from Bryson Hamlet. Mexico in their green jersey, kind of an ombre type color. Gray on top. The 1-0 pitch, or the 0-1 pitch outside, runs at 1-1. Sunny day, all the crowd tucked up underneath the shade to our left and right, and just below us here at Rent 1 Park. We'll give you the dimensions on the ballpark here at Rent 1 as the pitch is low for ball 2. It is 320 down the left field line, 400 straightaway center field right at the batter's eye, 375 in the gap and right, and 325 down the right field. Synthetic turf, always get a true hop here as this one is fouled straight back right below us. If I had a fish net, I could have caught that one. Drives the count to 2-2 for Ruben Rodriguez. No score here early on, top of the first. This is game number 6 of the tournament. Pitch is high. Now we have a full count. This is game 6. Was supposed to start at 11:30. About 35 minutes behind on schedule today. Here's the payoff pitch, 3-2. Swung on a miss. Strike him out. Nice pitch on a 79 mile an hour fastball. And Rodriguez is gone here in the top of the first inning. Going to bring up the designated hitter, Carlos Ruiz. Last night in game 1, Ruiz, he walked. He grounded out twice. And then he singled late in the game in the 6th. He bats from the right side. As Jonathan Bernal is the runner at second. 2 outs. That one's fouled off by Ruiz. Where's number 24? He's the designated hitter. The umpires for the game, Terry Erickson behind the plate, Randy Kershke at first, Chad Ozee at second, and Tom Haas is behind the bag at third. 4 umpires used for every game here. And again, this is the first year for the Colt World Series here at Rent 1 Park. If you're not familiar with the facility itself, 3,400 chair seats, lawn seating for over 2,000. We can fit almost 7,000 into the ballpark. Have a great 10-hole mini golf course in dead center field as the pitch is in there for a strike, 0-2. We have 14 suites, a fun zone for the kids, concession stands all around. It's just a great time, and we hope you come visit us here at Rent 1 Park. The pitch gets away from Bryson Hamlet. And that allows Bernal to move up to third, and it also allows Villalobos to head toward second. So 2 runners in scoring position now for Carlos Ruiz, the designated hitter. He's facing a 1-2 count. Rent 1 Park is the home of the Southern Illinois Miners from the Frontier League. Independent baseball. They're on the road in Windy City as that pop fly to second base. Tonkins is under it, catches it, and that's how this inning ends. No score for Mazatlán, Mexico at the end of 1/2 inning. We're heading to the bottom of the first. You're watching the 2018 Colt World Series. Or bottom of the first, correction, here, game 6 of the Colt World Series. The first time that Greensboro, North Carolina, who is the home team, gets the hit here in the game. Their lineup will be Lee, Donnell Johnson, Hairston, Ring, Brady, Willen, Jenkins, and Tompkins. The top 9 hitters here. So leading off for North Carolina, the left fielder Noah Lee hits from the right side. On the mound for Mexico is Ramon Marion, the right-hander. First pitch is in there for a strike as we look at Greensboro, North Carolina. For the first time today, pitch is up for a ball. 1-1 the count. Greensboro lost in the first game yesterday 5-4 to South Korea. As the 1-1 pitch is behind the back of Lee, runs the count to 2-1. Noah Lee led off yesterday. He walked and scored, flew out to short, walked in the 4th, and then struck out in the 6th inning. So 0 for 2 in the first game. This one he hits on the ground to second. Estrada is there, throws across to first a little bit high, but Villalobos makes the catch. And there's one down here in the bottom of the first. That's going to bring up Cody Donnell, third baseman. He wears number 1. Donnell yesterday in the game against South Korea, he walked in the first. He and Lee both scored in the first, and Greensboro wound up taking a 2-0 lead after 1. Flew out in the third, walked in the fourth, struck out, singled in the first, struck out in the third, walked in the fourth, and then struck out in the sixth. And he has 1 ball and no strike on him here in the bottom of the first of game number 6 of the tournament. Pitch is inside, counts 2-0 now. Wind blowing from right to left here at Rent One Park. All the flags, all the country flags out there in center field. What a beautiful sight. We can see that. The flags from each of the nations as Donnell swings through. The pitch from Ramon Marone. And the count now 2-1. Steps and throws. 2-2. As Donnell goes after that high fastball. Can't get around on it. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. He got just a piece of it. Fouled it straight back. As catcher Osuna asks for a new baseball from home plate umpire Terry Erickson. C.J. Johnson is on deck. He was the starting pitcher for Greensboro yesterday. He hurt his ankle, his left ankle, as Donnell strikes out, swinging on an 80-mile-an-hour fastball, 2 down. And that's going to bring up C.J. Johnson, who today is playing center field to start the game. But he tweaked the left ankle early in the game yesterday. Had to come out because of it, but he's back in the lineup. Saw him warming up a little bit earlier, and he appears to be fine. He stands on the left side of the batter's box with 2 out here in the bottom of the first. Lines one sharply in the gap in right center field, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. That left ankle is looking fine as he rounds second, making his way toward third, and he's going to slow down. That's exactly how he heard it yesterday. And a little gimpy as he comes into third, but that's a stand-up triple for C.J. Johnson. Man, he hit that one right on the button. And that's going to bring Isaiah Hairston to the plate. First baseman wears number 7, hits from the left side. So with 2 out, chance to score the first run of the game for Hairston if he can get C.J. Johnson home. As that first pitch off speed and a ball, or caught a corner rather, for strike 1. Pitch from Ramon Marone. Outside, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. On its way, lined right back up the middle sharply. That's going to score Johnson. As Isaiah Hairston tagged that one, he gets the single and the RBI. As he stands on first base, C.J. Johnson strolls home casually. And Greensboro, North Carolina, up on top here early, 1-0. At the plates will be Isaiah Ream for North Carolina. Ream is a junior at Southeast Gulford High School in Forest Oaks, North Carolina, as he looks at ball 1, age 16. He's a Dodgers fan and, of course, a Mike Trout fan. Plays baseball and football, likes Cam Newton as his favorite football player, and he wants to be a corner when he grows up. Don't see that a whole lot from the kids these days, do you? 1-0 here in the bottom of the first with 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Does plan on going to college at Vanderbilt down in Nashville. They have a great baseball program at Vandy. Here's the 2-0 from Ramon Marone. Catches the outside corner, runs the count to 2-1. Carolina scored First run of the game on that RBI single from Hairston. He gets the RBI. Here's the 2-1. Foul tipped at the plates. Isaiah Ringham, the shortstop, in the game yesterday, singled in the first. Struck out, flew out, also got on an error. Here he is with a 1-2 count from Marone. Curveball in there for a strike 3, as that was a nice breaking ball from Ramon Marone. And that is the third out here in the bottom of the first inning. But Greensboro, North Carolina, able to drive one home. They have the lead after one over Mazatlán, Mexico, 1-0. We're heading to the second. You're watching the 2018 Colt World Series. As Bryson Hamlet takes the mound, the left-hander pitches, and that one's fouled straight back over the top of us. 0-1 here as we're just underway in the second inning. Oh, and 2 to Donato. He's playing third here in the game. Pops that one up on the right side. Brady comes back and gives it a look, but it goes out of play. Count remains 0-2 to Donato. Carlos looks at strike 3, as it took just a second for the ump to ring that one up, but he was struck out looking. One down here in the top of the second inning. That's going to bring up Adon Osuna. Adon Osuna drives that one foul down the left field line by about 3 feet. Osuna is 16 years old. Likes Chicago, and who doesn't like Javi Baez? I'm a Cardinal fan, and I do like Javi Baez. He'd look good in Cardinal red, I know that. His favorite sport is baseball, is Osuna's. Favorite food is pizza. Like these little bios on the players as he swings and misses at second pitch. Runs the count to 0-2 with one out here. Top of the second. 1-0. North Carolina with the lead. And the pitch from Bryson Hamlet. The left-hander delivers. Grounded short. That's Ream. Picks it up. Throws across to Hairston. 2 down in the top of the second. So Sergio Cedano next to the plate. The center fielder wears number 5. Cedano in the game last night against Southern Illinois. He started in left field. He walked in the second, flew out to right in the third, and then was replaced late in the game. He hits from the left side. So Sergio Cedano at the plate. Takes ball 1 outside. Plenty of time for you to get out here and enjoy some baseball. As a matter of fact, a special game coming up this afternoon as the 1-0 pitch is outside. Pony League also has the Champions League for those with disabilities, and that'll be taking place at 4:30 here at Rent One Park. A league game. And the schedule for the rest of the evening. This is Game 6. Game 7 will start at 2 o'clock. Game 8 will start at 6 o'clock. In Game 7, it'll be the first chance for us to see the defending champions of the Colt World Series. That's the Netherlands. They're going to take on Brownsville, Texas at 2 o'clock. And then the first time we've seen Corvina, California, they have the nightcap at 6 o'clock when they take on South Korea. Looking forward to that game. 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed, dropped by the catcher, but makes a strong throw to complete the strikeout. So it's 1-2-3. Luke Jenkins here to start things off in the bottom of the second for Carolina. As the first pitch from Ramon Marone goes way behind. Justin Brady for a ball. Brady, he's a senior this year, 16 years old. He says he's a rising senior. Don't know what that means, but he runs the count 2-0. He's a Yankees fan and a Derek Jeter fan for baseball. Does play football and baseball. Russell Wilson, his favorite football player. The 2-0 count, fouled straight back by Brady. Plans to want to be a physical therapist. And will be going to college down in North Carolina. As he takes a ball outside. 3 balls and 1 strike to Justin Brady. I think I started to say earlier, if you're still looking to get out here, plenty of time to get out and watch some baseball. Tickets are only $8 here at the gate at Rent 1 as Justin Brady swings at strike 2. And that runs the count full here in the bottom of the second. Nobody on. Players are playing center and right are playing straight away. They have left pulled way over to the gap in left center field. But it's Brady that gets the walk, and he's going to wind up at first base. Here's the designated hitter for North Carolina. Eli Willen wears number 21. Eli is a sophomore this year, 15 years old. Big boy for 15 years old, wears number 21, bats from the left side. So Brady is at first, Willen at the plate. Here's the pitch from Ramon Marone as he checks and throws to first, and Brady's able to get back in there. Eli goes to Grimsley High School, lives in Greensboro, North Carolina, likes the Atlanta Braves. He's a Chipper Jones fan. Chipper just inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. As Marone checks the runner, comes home, and Willen swings and misses on the outside pitch, 0-1. Bottom of the second. North Carolina leads at 1-0. Trying to extend that lead here. Marone's pitch inside, driven deep to center field, but it's Sedano that camps under it. Doesn't have to move much as Willen flies out to center for the first out here in the bottom of the second inning. Luke Jenkins is on his way to the plate. Jenkins plays right field for North Carolina. Luke is a freshman this year, 15 years old, hits from the left side. He goes to Greensboro, he's from Greensboro, North Carolina High School. Goes to Grimsley High School as they catch Justin Brady trying to steal. Well, they say he got under the tag. So a stolen base by Justin Brady, and he earned it. Nice throw from the catcher Osuna, but the tag didn't get him. Osuna can't believe it. He takes his time coming back behind the plate. Says, what the heck was wrong with that? So Jenkins stands in there facing an 0-1 count. Justin Brady in scoring position now in second. A single will bring him home. Here's the pitch from Ramon Marone. A little bit high. Evens the count at 1-1. Jenkins, a Clayton Kershaw fan. Basketball player, Jimmy Butler. He likes him. His favorite subject in school is science. And he wants to be a professional athlete. Plans on going to Clemson. Pitch outside for 2-1. Clemson. Go Dogs. Sorry, had to do that. 2-1 the count with 1 out. There's Jenkins. Hits from the left side. He waits on Marone's pitch. Hits it on the ground. First baseman Villalobos gets it, tags first, but it does move Brady over to third. So it's 3 unassisted on the second out here in the bottom of the second, and that's going to bring up Devin Tompkins. Second baseman, he wears number 2. Tompkins last night in that late night baseball game. Or rather, in the earlier game yesterday. Getting my games mixed up just a little bit. Tompkins grounded out, flew out, and singled in 3 plate appearances. He faces a 1-ball, no strike count here in the bottom of the second. So runner at third, chance to drive him home. A little bit low, 2-0. Tompkins steps in. Pitch catches the outside corner. Oh, a little bit wide. That was a strike a little bit earlier. Tompkins is a sophomore, 16 years old, lives in Greensboro, North Carolina, and he goes to Dudley High School. Trey Turner's his favorite baseball player. Also was a Kobe fan. He faces a 3-ball, no strike count. Pitch is low, and Tompkins gets the walk. So it'll be first and third now for North Carolina. Back to the top of the order we go. Noah Lee will dig in. He grounded out to second back in the first. Noah Lee wears number 3. He hits from the right side. Goes to Dudley High School in Greensboro, North Carolina. He's a Mookie Betts fan. And he's got an opportunity to drive one home as he has runners at first and third in front of him. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. As the pitch from Marion is on the way. A little bit high, 1-0. Marion now is up to about 35 pitches, and we're just in the second inning. And in pony baseball, they changed the rule this year. They don't go by the number of innings pitched by a pitcher to determine the rest days. It's now based on total pitches. And we'll give you that number as pitches just outside. So they mandate how much rest a pitcher needs based on the number of pitches that he throws in a game. And right now at 35, Marion would not be able to throw for 1 day if he was to stop between now and 45. He's had 36 pitches in the contest. So there are a lot of pitching changes in this as the ground ball is driven in the hole at second as the second baseman went to cover. That's going to drive home Brady. And into third base goes Tompkins, and Noah winds up at second. Noah Lee winds up at second on the throw. So he drives in 1. That is Brady. Tompkins scoots into third. And Noah Lee on the base hit. He takes second on the throw. So 2 runners left in scoring position. And now Cody Donnell at the plate. He struck out this first time up against Marion. So 2 on. He flies that one foul down the right side. Just a little bit late on that. Gets a hand slap from Noah Lee. 2-0 here in the game. Ramon Marion, the pitcher for Mexico, looks over toward the dugout. So we have time out on the field. So I thought a moment ago that Marion was looking in the dugout. And now you know that Sergio Cedano Osuna, who is the manager for Mazatlán, Mexico. He goes out to talk to his infield. His assistant is Sergio Armenta Garcia, and their business manager is George Mongre Germain. Every team has a business manager because they have expenses that have to be accounted for. Pony does help pay for expenses while they're here at the World Series, pays for their food, their lodging, also their travel expenses too. Rentwood Park, we got to say thank you to Visit SI, the city of Marion, who have put in a lot of time and effort to make this World Series happen. Also the Southern Illinois Miners, as the pitch is way behind Donnell. That happened to him last time he came up, and the count is 1-1. But CEO and manager Mike Pinto, Kathy Perry, John Wilson, all the support staff here at Rentwood Park, the concessions, the grounds, the people that take care of the facility, Bascom, everybody, they've done such a good job. We invite you to come out. This tournament is going to go on all the way through Wednesday. That's when the 2018 World Series champion will be crowned. We'll have every game. It could be up to 20 games by the time all is said and done as the pitch is inside. Here comes Tompkins to score on the passed ball. And they're going to say that, I believe, that Donnell kind of interfered with the pitcher, Marone, as he came in to cover the plate. So Tompkins is going to have to go back to third. Donnell did walk, so he's granted first base. So there's 2 on here in the bottom of the second. And in to hit is C.J. Johnson. Johnson, who tripled a little bit earlier, drove it in the gap. And there's going to be a pitching change now for Mazatlán, Mexico. As Marone is going to come out of the game, it looks, as he makes his way toward the dugout. Looks like maybe Villalobos would be throwing. Do believe Villalobos will be the new pitcher. Villalobos is going to be the new pitcher for Mexico here.
Now playing first base, number 24,
Carlos Ruiz will move over to first place to replace Villalobos. The designated hitter will be dropped, but since Carlos was the designated hitter, so now he's at first. Villalobos is warmed up. The umpires are getting the lineup straight, and the bases are juiced here for North Carolina with the big hitter, C.J. Johnson, waiting to bat. Tripled his last time up. Tripled last night as well, and that's when he hurt that ankle, but he appears to be okay today. He had no problems rounding the bases on that triple in the first. So, bases are loaded, 2 outs, and the big hitter for North Carolina at the plate, that is C.J. Johnson. He hits from the left side, open stance, takes a ball outside for ball 1, 68-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. Can Johnson put one in the gap again? Here's the 1-0, a little bit high, 2-0. Left fielder is pulled over in the gap in left center. They're shading Johnson toward right. Right fielder playing straight up. Here's the 2-0. A A little bit high. Nice job by Osuna to jump up and snag that to keep Tompkins at third. Noah Lee is at second. Cody Donnell is at first. They're waiting on the big guy here to put one in play. Will he swing 3-0? Let's find out. Villalobos, he's the pitcher, the right-hander, delivers. Down the middle for a strike, 3-1. The rule is you don't swing 3-0. Unless the coach tells you specifically, you got to take that 3-0 pitch, especially in Little League, Pony League, whatever it is. That's just good fundamentals right there. Take that pitch. Here's the 3-1, fouled straight back by Johnson. So now everybody will be moving on the 3-2 pitch. Two nothing, North Carolina. They're threatening right here in the bottom of the second. Can they blow this thing wide open? Here's the 3-2. Fouled off to the left. Johnson protecting the plate. Little check swing. Everybody has to go back, as we said. All three runners will be on the move. On the pitch. You must tag up after the foul ball. They do. Villalobos is ready. He works from the windup, steps off, looks back toward third, and is going to have to reset. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Villalobos. High, walks him. That's probably safer than letting him groove one. So that's going to bring in Tompkins. They've scored 2 here in the second inning. Noah Lee heads to third. Cody Donnell is at second. C.J. Johnson finds himself at first after the walk. And the RBI. Isaiah Hairston steps in on the left side. Villalobos' pitches fouled straight back. That was a good pitch, a good swing. So now, 3-0. North Carolina leads it here in the bottom of the third. The 0-1 pitch inside, in the dirt. Wow, that was low. They call it a strike. That is Terry Erickson behind the plate. 0-2, the count. On the ground, this should do it. As Ruiz was late, just took his time after he fielded that ball, but you also have to give credit to Hairston. Good speed as he beats the defender to the bag. Another run scores. Bases are still loaded as Noah Lee scores. Infield hit for Hairston. Here's Isaiah Rem. Pitch is high for ball one. Four to nothing, North Carolina. They just slowly bringing in some runs. Justin Brady scored. Devin Tompkins scored. Noah Lee just scored. And a pitch outside for a ball to Rem. If Rem gets on, that's everybody's batted this inning. Justin Brady stands on deck. He started things off here. Pitch in there. They're saying that was a little high. So now the count's 3-0. As we just talked about, you don't swing 3-0. We'll see what Isaiah Rem says. He doesn't swing 3-0, and he is walked. So we're going batted all around. Cody Donnell comes in to tap the plate. Johnson makes his way to third. Hairston heads to second. And Isaiah Rem is at First, Justin Brady. He walked back in the second inning. As the Mexico coach is going to make a pitching change here. Villalobos is being lifted. So one of the other fielders didn't quite catch the number. Is going to take over for Villalobos. Believe that is 3, not 3. Tiznado is going to come in.
Now batting, now pitching for Mazatlán, Mexico. Number 9, Carlos Tiznado.
So Tiznado is going to take over, the third pitcher for Mexico in this game. See if we can get some pitching stats for you. Marion went 1 2/3 inning, gave up 3 hits, 5 runs.
And Carlos Ruiz playing third base.
He's charged with those 5 runs. Let's see here. Marion also 5 earned runs. He walked 2, struck out 2. Villalobos hasn't got anybody out. Allowed 1 hit, walked 2. Villalobos will head back to second, or excuse me, to first. And now Tiznado is the pitcher. Here's the pitch from Tiznado, was high. So it's 5-0. A base hit would just blow this game wide open for North Carolina here in the bottom of the second. Tiznado throws again outside 2-0. Justin Brady at the plate. He walked last time up. He waits on the 2-0, drives this one down the line and right. That's going to go all the way to the wall. It's going to clear the bases. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Here comes Rem. He's going to score easily. And they're going to say a ground rule double. The ball hopped over the fence. So a ground rule double. And let's see here. Who was the last one to come across? Rem, who scored, was almost at home when that ball bounced over. Has to go back to third. Oh, just a terrible break for North Carolina. As Hairston and Johnson both score. Rem winds up at third. But Justin Brady with the double. And now it's 7-0, North Carolina. Still 2 out. All of this has happened with 2 outs. They batted around. Eli Willen, the designated hitter, at the plate. Last time up, he flew out to center. And that was earlier here in the second inning. His chance, second chance at the plate here in the game. This inning, he hits it on the ground to first. Villalobos is there. He grabs it and steps on the bag for the 3rd out. So North Carolina scores 5 here in the second inning, and they lead it 7-0 heading to the 3rd. You're watching the 2018 Colt World Series. Back at Brentwood Park, Dave McKenzie with the top of the 3rd here between Mazatlán, Mexico and Greensboro, North Carolina. At the plate, he squares around to bunt. That's right fielder David Armenta. North Carolina blew this one wide open there in the second inning, scoring 6 times. They lead it 7-0. Now, yes, there is a 10-run rule in Pony League. It's after 5 innings as Armenta hits it toward third. Throw across from Donnell to Hairston is in time to get Armenta with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. Back to the top of the order, second baseman Orlando Estrada steps in from the right side. Bryson Hamlet still the pitcher for North Carolina. He's settled down. Set him down in order in the second inning. Has held him scoreless so far. 1 strike count to Estrada. That one's a little bit high. Evens it out at 1-1. This is game number 6 of the tournament. Coming up, the next game is at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and will be the first opportunity to see the defending champion, the Netherlands, as they take on Brownsville, Texas. The Netherlands, the 2017 champions for the Colt World Series. Here's the 1-2 inside, 2-2. Brownsville, they won their first game yesterday over Marion, 9-6. Then the 6 o'clock game this evening will be the first chance to see Cravina Tech, California, take on the team from Seoul, South Korea. That's a 6 o'clock start. The pitch on the outside part of the plate. As Estrada strikes out looking. 2 down.
Now batting, shortstop, number 23,
Jonathan Barnell is at the plate. The pitch from Hamlet high for ball 1. Mexico just not able to get anything going early on against Bryson Hamlet. Pretty good crowd. We'll see a couple of the other teams tucked up underneath is strike 2 to Bernal. Excuse me, strike 1, 2-1. Pitch outside, 3-1 now. Nobody on for Mexico. Amanta grounded out. This one's popped up on the left side. Donnell makes his way over. Shades his eyes from the sun, makes the catch. And for the second time, Mexico is set down in order for the third out here in the third inning. Greensboro, North Carolina. And leading it off will be right fielder Luke Jenkins. Last time up, he grounded out to first baseman unassisted. Greensboro scored 6 runs in that second inning, batted around, sent 11 players to the plate. As there was a ball on the field, that's what the delay is. Here to start the bottom of the third inning. As we mentioned just a few minutes ago, the 10-run rule is that what they call the mercy rule? That is a possibility, but it's 10 runs at the end of 5 innings. Not there yet. 7-0 right now, as it counts 2-0 to Luke Jenkins. Oh, called a strike. That was way outside. Missed it, though. 1-1. Still throwing. Carlos Tiznado on the mound for Mazatlán, Mexico. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. Jenkins is ready. Hits from the left side. Pitches low. 3-1. With the pitch count rules, what this does to a team in Pony is it makes virtually every one of your players a pitcher. As Jenkins gets the walk, he's going to make his way down to first base, and that's going to bring in Devin Tompkins. But that's what's important in Pony League Baseball with the pitch count now instead of the number of innings. I can see where it opens it up to where you throw everybody that's on your roster at some point during the season. and especially when you're here in the World Series. As Jenkins takes his lead at first. First pitch is in for a strike to Devin Tompkins. He walked in the second, and he scored. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Oh, no, they're going to throw over to first. And Jenkins is able to get back in there with a head first dive. Teams are starting to warm up for the next game. You can see them out in the batting cages. It looks like the Netherlands are out there swinging right now. Pitch inside, gets away from Ozuna, and that's going to allow Jenkins to take second on the pass ball. So it's 1-1 now to Tompkins. Tompkins from the right side, squares to bunt, pulls back. Inside, 2-1 now. Jenkins in scoring position. They could add to the 7-0 lead here with a base hit. Good speed for North Carolina all around. Very quick. He squares to bunt, lays it down. That's a good one. It's going to go foul. Oh, nice job by the third baseman, Ruiz, to let that go. The first pitcher, or the pitcher, Tiznado, came over. He also let it go. Almost perfectly placed. Missed it by that much. So Tompkins is going to have to come back. 2-2 count now on Tompkins. Here's the 2-2 pitch. He spins and looks back. Jenkins at second base. Tompkins plans on going either to Davidson or Maryland in college. Ground ball. Tompkins chops it to third. Long throw across from Ruiz to Villalobos is in time to get the speedy Tompkins. He grounds out 5-3. That's the first out here in the bottom of the third. Back to the top of the order, and that is Noah Lee that steps in, the left fielder. Grounded out in the first. He singled in the second and scored. Has a chance to drive in a run. Jenkins still at second. They had him, thought they had him picked off as the second baseman comes sliding in. But Jenkins gets a hand back on the bag. Here's the pitch from Tiznado. Inside, 61-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. And it's 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Spins. Excited about the next game. This will be the first chance to see the defending champions in this tournament as they received a first-round bye. The Netherlands looking to defend their title. Pitch is outside, 2-0. And it gets away from Ozuna, so Jenkins able to ease his way into third base. He's 90 feet away from scoring. Tiznado, the pitcher, steps up on top of the hill. Lee is ready. Drives it in, right up the middle into center field. That's going to score Jenkins. And Lee, as the center fielder kind of bobbled the ball, he's so fast he was able to take advantage of that. So we'll rule that a single, and then on the throw goes into second base.
Number 1, Cody Donnell.
8-0 now. Cody Donnell at the plate, the third baseman, struck out his first time up, walked his in the second. We're just in the third here. Donnell called timeout. But he's back in there now. He digs in. There's the 0-1 pitch. Hits this one to the left side. He gets through. And here comes Noah Lee. His speed, they're not going to get him. The throw is going to be late to the plate. And Donnell, he tries to extend it to second base, and he's got there for the outs. Single for Donnell, but it goes 2-4 on the putout for the second out of the inning. Noah Lee scores 9-0 now. So, had Donnell made it to second and C.J. Johnson at the plate, could have seen 10 runs on the board. Still might with C.J. Johnson. Number 22 digs in on the left side. Here's the pitch. Outside. So 9-0 with 2 down here in the third inning, the bottom of the third. Tisnato's pitch fouled straight back, right over the top. You can hear it. Here, I'll turn up the mic. You can hear it rolling around up top, and it drops down to the fans below. They take that to a table. They'll get a $10 gift card from Dick's Sporting Goods for returning that baseball. Baseballs are worth $10. How about that? Pitch is outside from Tisnato. 3-1 now. Don't want to really groove a pitch to Anderson. He will, or C.J. Johnson, rather, he'll make you pay. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Outside, intentional, but and an unintentional, intentional walk for Johnson. So he is on first. That's going to bring up Isaiah Hairston. He singled in the first, singled in the second. He bats from the left side. Johnson gets his lead at first. Tries the curveball, stays outside. Ball 1 from Tisnato. 9-0 here in the third. Again, outside. The pitch from Tisnato, 2-0. 2-0 with 2 outs. Johnson takes a little bit of a bigger lead. That ball's in there for a strike. Strike 1. 2-1 now to Isaiah Hairston. Tisnato spins, throws to first. Johnson's able to get back in, jumps right back up, and gets right back out to his lead. His initial lead pretty good. 3-4 steps. Here's the pitch. Fouled off to the left. The right-hander from the stretch throws outside. Runs the count full. So Johnson will be able to take off on the 3-2 pitch. Gets his lead. Pitch is hit on the ground to second. And they got him just in time, and C.J. Johnson hurt that ankle again as it went 4-6 on the putout. Back here at Rim1 Park, it's Dave McKenzie. Top of the fourth, Villalobos is going to lay it off. The first baseman walked his first time up. On the mound is Bryson Hamlet. He continues to pitch. Villalobos lifts it high toward shortstop as Bernal has to cover his eyes, but he makes the catch. To retire Villalobos. The first out. Here's Ruben Rodriguez. Number 100 steps in on the right side of the plate. No time wasted by Bryson. Hamlet, he fires right away for a strike. 9-0 here as we're in the top of the fourth inning. Time is running out for Mazatlán, Mexico. As Rodriguez fouls that one straight back. It looked like that one was coming right up to my window for a moment. No runs. Just how about that? Mexico is being no hit so far. Is that right? I need to double check that. Yeah, no hits for Bryson Hamlet here in the 4th inning. May have just jinxed him, but he's cruising right along. Terry Erickson underhands the ball out to the pitcher that gets by him. It was a hot one. Terry Erickson behind the plate. Randy Caskey behind at first. Channel Z at second. Tom Haas at third. Here's the pitch from Bryson Hamlet. A little bit high. 1-2. To Ruben Rodriguez, who struck out his first time up back in the 1st inning. He's hitting here in the 4th. Grounds this one to short. Ram gets it. Tosses across. Gets Rodriguez easily. 6-4 on the putout. Carlos Ruiz will step in. Number 24.
Carlos Ruiz.
So 2 down here in the top of the 4th for Mexico. Hamlet's thrown 53 pitches in the game. He's just cruising. He set Mexico down 1-2-3 back in the 2nd and the 3rd inning. And he's set to do that again here in the 4th. Only faced 5 in the 1st inning. Pitch is swung on and missed. Off speed, 77 mile an hour. Carlos Ruiz at the plate. The 1-1. Swings at one outside, 1-2. I think he tipped that one just a little bit. So Bryson Hamlet has him where he wants him. 1-2. Ruiz sets. Watches it bounce in the dirt. 2-2. Coming up, the next game should be a good one. Netherlands taking on Brownsville, Texas. This will be game number 7 of the tournament. Swung on a miss. Bryson strikes out Ruiz. Swinging. We're at the bottom of the 4th inning here at Brentwood Park. 9-0, Greensboro, North Carolina. And they come to the plate here in the bottom of the 4th. Isaiah Rim is going to lead things off. The shortstop hits from the left side. As you look at the line score right now, Mexico no runs, no hits for Bryson Hamlet. And there's been 1 error. And Greensboro has scored 9 runs, 7 hits, no errors. And the count now is 2-0 to Isaiah Rim. He struck out in the 1st, walked in the 2nd. He plays shortstop and swings at strike number 1, 2-1 now. As Tiznado still the pitcher for Mexico here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the 2-1. A little bit high, according to Terry Erickson. Tiznado delivers, catches the outside corner for strike 2. Full count now on Isaiah Rim. 3-2 pitch, swung on a missed. Strikeouts of Isaiah Rim by Tiznado, the first out here in the 4th inning. Bottom of the 4th for North Carolina. Justin Brady's going to step in, the catcher. Oh, we have a pinch hitter, number 19, and that is going to be Jackson Dempsey replacing Justin Brady. Dempsey Where's number 19? Replacing Justin Brady. He looks at ball 1. Comes in here in the 4th inning. Looks at ball 2 a little bit low. Ozuna taking his time throwing that ball back. Turns around, talks to the home plate umpire, Terry Erickson. So 2-0 to Dempsey. He drives this one into right field, and the right fielder had to slide to try to catch it. Hits his glove, and it falls out. He had an opportunity, kind of swung around as that ball was fading away from him. So Dempsey is on first base. Are they going to rule that a hit, or are they going to rule that an error? Eli Willen into bat. Designated hitter. Looks at ball 1. Willen, he flew out to center, grounded out to first. That was a single by Dempsey. Would have been a tough catch if Armenta had come up with it. Count now 1-1 with 1 out. Bottom of the 4th, a runner at first. Tisnato's pitch. Hit on the ground in the hole at first. As Dempsey just stays at second. Runners on now, first and second for North Carolina. And Luke Jenkins strolling his way into the plate. Pinch hitter. We have a replacement, number 13. It's going to be Gus Hughes in.
Pitch hitting for Greensboro, North Carolina, number 13, Gus Hughes.
He takes over for Luke Jenkins here in the 4th inning. So Gus Hughes steps in, has a 1-0 count. The pitch from Tisnato, a little bit low, 2-0 now. 2 runners on for North Carolina. They lead at 9-0. We mentioned it earlier, 10-run rule is possible in Pony League. That's 10 runs at the end of 5. So if Carolina scores here, they throw back behind the runner. At first, that's Willen. He gets back in easily. Willen's at first. Dempsey's at second. And Gus Hughes is the batter at the plate. Chance for an RBI for Hughes. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Lets it go in there for a strike. Strike 1, 3-1. Dempsey's ready. Tisnato fires. Drives it on the ground to short. To second for 1. On to first for 2. Turn the double play. Nice job by Mexico to make that pivot. It goes 6-4-3 on the putout. Back here at Rent Park on a Saturday afternoon, about 1:32. It's Dave McKenzie as we're in the top of the 5th inning here between North Carolina and Mexico. And a new pitcher now for North Carolina, Mark Scott wears number 8, the left-hander. We want to say happy birthday to Mark's grandpa, Mr. Wes Scott, celebrating his 86th birthday here today. Not at Rent 1, he's watching online. Happy birthday, Mr. Scott. And Mark was on the mound, I guess, when Greensboro, North Carolina won their qualifier to come here to the World Series. The left-hander throws the 1-0 pitch on the inside. Mr. Scott, hope you have a wonderful day, sir. At the plate, Carlos Tisnato leading it off for Mazatlán, Mexico. Here's the 2-0 from Scott. A little bit high, 3-0. No hitter going. Nice job of pitching by Bryson Hamlet through 4, giving up no hits. As the pitch from Mark Scott is in there for a strike. Puts the count at 3-1 now. And he walks Tisnado. That's the first walk given up since the first inning when Rafael Villalobos walked in the first. So a runner at first now for Mexico. They're down 9-0. They need to score something here, because if they don't and Carolina scores here in the 5th inning, that'll be the ball game. So they are down to some of their final outs if they don't score. Adon Osuna at the plate from the right side. Looks at a 1-0 pitch on the corner for a strike. 1-1. 76-mile-an-hour fastball catches the corner from Mark Scott. 9-0 here in the 5th inning. The 1-1 pitch tapped up the third base line, but it rolls foul. So it's 1-2 now. Looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter coming up here for Mexico, number 10, Cedeno. I believe that's in number 10, standing on deck. We're going to see what's going to happen here with Osuna, though. Adon Osuna at the plate. The pitch. Little in. Oh, it says that was a strike. As he just looks at it. So Osuna strikes out. 1 out.
Now batting, center fielder, number 10, Sergio Sedano.
Cedeno drives it in the gap in left center field, but Johnson's unable to get over to cut it off and holds everybody where they're supposed to be. Tisnado is at second. Cedeno is at first. But Mexico has something going here in the top of the 5th inning. And that is the first hit given up by North Carolina here in the game. And it comes in the 5th inning. Off reliever Mark Scott. 9-0, 2 on for Mexico here in the 5th inning. As Scott catches the outside corner with the first strike against Armenta. Armenta grounded out to third. Pokes that one through the hole on the left side. The third base coach holds everybody up. Now Mexico has the bases loaded as David Armenta gets a single to left. So Tisnado is at third. Cedeno is at second. Armenta at first. And Orlando Estrada steps in. For Mazatlán, Mexico, a chance to drive in a couple of runs. He flew out to center, or excuse me, to left back in the first, struck out in the third. 1 out here in the 5th. Bases are loaded. You can start to feel a little bit of momentum out of Team Mexico. They had been set down 3 innings in a row, 3 up, 3 down. Scott's pitch, swung on and missed. Good pitch. 77 miles an hour on the clock.
Second baseman, number 4, Orlando Estrada.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Mark Scott on the hill. The left-hander delivers. That's fired right back up the middle over the top of the second baseman. 1 run is going to score. And they're going to hold everybody up. Nice job defensively just to keep it to 1, but Tisnado scores for Mexico. And that is their first run of the game. It comes here in the 5th inning. Sedano goes to third, Armenta at second, and Estrada with the single here and the RBI. So Carolina gets together on the infield at the pitcher's mound. They're going to chat about it as the ump starts to make his way out. First run of the game for Mazatlán, Mexico, 9-1 now. Here in the top of the 5th inning. At the plate will be Jonathan Bernal. So Scott, the left-hander, delivers with the bases loaded. That's foul, lined foul down the right side. Rattles around down in the stairway and the ramp over in right field here at Rentwood Park. 320 down the left field line, 325 the right field line. We've not had a home run out of the park. We've had one in the park home run this tournament. That one's lined toward right field. That's going to drive in another run. Here comes the throw. Is it going to be in time as the catcher, Brady, can't handle it? 2 runs scores, and the runners move up second and third. And so Mexico is cooking here. As Sedano scores, Armenta comes around to score. Estrada winds up at third. And Jonathan Bernal takes second on the throw home. Fans from Mexico starting to make some noise. As Mark Scott is being lifted. He makes his way toward the dugout by Brett. After Brett Garrett comes out and replaces him. So we're going to have a relief pitcher here for North Carolina. It's 9-3 now.
Now pitching for Greensboro, North Carolina, number 21,
Eli Willett comes in to pitch now for North Carolina. Eli Willen. I said Willett, but it's actually Willen. Where's number 21? He checks in. Taking his warm-up throws. So it's 9-3. Line score now for Mexico. 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 error. Greensboro, North Carolina, 9 runs, 9 hits, no errors. As we look at the pitching stats now for North Carolina, overall they've given up over 4 1/3 innings, 4 runs on 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 2 base on balls. They've struck out 6 in the game. Hamlet pitched outstanding, 58 strikes, 35 balls. Mark Scott, 17 strikes and 11 balls. So stepping into the plate, first baseman Rafael Villalobos walked in the first, flew out to short back in the 4th inning. As Brady steps out to talk to his pitcher, Eli Willen here in the top of the 5th inning. Mexico trying to claw their way back in this. Still down 6 runs, but there was 9-0 coming into this 5th inning. Villalobos from the left side faces Willen, the right-hander. Stands right in the middle of the rubber from the stretch. Steps, throws on the ground to second. Tonkins to Martinez, gets the out, but it does drive in 1 more run as Estrada comes home. And Bernal cruises into third. The ground out 4-3. So 2 outs now for Mexico. And Ruben Rodriguez, actually a pinch hitter.
Mexico, number 27, Jesus Rios.
Number 27, Jesus Rios, in for Rodriguez. And I believe Villalobos may have pulled a hamstring as he was slowly walking his way toward the dugout. So they're trying to stretch him out. Maybe cramping, and it is hot. It's 92 degrees, and I can tell you personally on this field, when it's 90 degrees, it's about 10 to 15 degrees warmer. Probably about 110 out there right now. Somewhere in the area. It's warm. And if you're not used to playing on that type of heat, it can get to you quickly. Here we are, top of the 5th inning. It's 9-4. That ball is tapped foul to the left. And that's what it looks like as Villalobos is cramping up, and they're trying to get him stretched out down in the Mazatlán dugout. So Jesus Rios is at the plate, his first time hitting today. And Eli Willen is on the mound with 2 outs. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed as Brady has to pick it up, throw to first. Does so just in the nick of time, gets the strikeout, and that's how we end the 5th inning. Mexico was able to hang 4 on the board finally. They get on the board, and it's 9-4, heading to the bottom of the 5th. As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, it's 9-4. Mexico scored 4 runs there in the top of the 5th inning. So North Carolina steps in to the bottom of the 5th inning. Devin Tompkins will lead things off. Noah Lee will hit second. Coney Donnell will hit third, pending any substitutions. On the mound, Carlos Tiznado continues to throw as Tompkins fouls that one off to the right. Pitch is in there or outside for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1. Right now it's 90 degrees with just a few clouds around southern Illinois. That ball way inside. Tompkins has to fall back out of the way. The fans that are here at Rentland Park have found all the shady areas around the stadium. It's the sun right on top of us right now. That ball's hit up the middle as Estrada gets over, throws to first, and gets his man Villalobos, who I said was cramping up a little bit earlier. He's grabbing at that left hammy right now. He is on the field, but the ground out for Tompkins goes 4-3 for the first out. And Noah Lee will step in to the batter's box. Grounded out in the first, singled in the second, singled in the third. We're in the 5th right now. As he takes strike 1. Tiznado's pitch is on the way. Hit and pop to the right side. Right fielder Carrion is there and makes the catch for the second out.
Mr. Umpire, please hold, please. Who is this young man in for? Third baseman is in the 3 hole. Who did he sub in for? Where's number 1 at?
This is some confusion here between the score book and up top. So number 16 is hitting for Donnell. And that is Chad Carpenter that's coming in to hit for Cody Donnell. First pitch in there for a strike. So Carpenter, where's number 16? Oh, 2 to Carpenter. Tisnado seems to have gotten some new life here as he continues to throw for Mazatlán, Mexico. 2 outs. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled off. Inside pitch. But Carpenter was able to fight it off. Two outs. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Outside 1 and 2. As Osuna framed it there for umpire Terry Erickson, but he didn't bite. It was a touch outside. 1 and 2 now. To Carpenter. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground to short. Bernal grabs it, throws across to Villalobos, but the speed of Carpenter was able to leg it out. Infield hit for Chad Carpenter. That keeps the inning going for North Carolina. And that's going to bring in number 17. Patty McGonigal is hitting for C.J. Johnson. McGonigal wears number 17. And that's Patty, P-A-D-D-Y, McGonigal. Number 17 hitting for C.J. Johnson here in the 5th inning. So, 1 ball, no strike count to Patty McGonigal. McGonigal, I guess is what that would be. They throw over to first. That's where you find Chad Carpenter. 1 on. Pitch is swung on and missed. They throw behind. Carpenter's able to dive back in. So he got a really big secondary lead there. So now the count's even at 1-1. 9-4 is the score. With 1 on. The pitch from Tisnado right up the middle. Short is there to pick it up. Flips to second to get Carpenter. So it goes 6-4 on the fielder's choice to end the inning. We've reached the top of the 6th inning here at Ritwan Park. My name is Dave McKenzie. 9-4. North Carolina holds the 5-run lead. As we head to the top of the 6th, it's Carlos Ruiz that's going to step into bat here in the 6th. Ruiz flew out to second back in the 1st. He struck out in the 4th. We're in the 5th, or excuse me, we're in the 6th. And he faces a 0-1 count from Eli Willen, the pitcher for North Carolina. The pitch is a little bit high, evens it up at 1-1. Next game here at Ritwan Park, the defending champion, Netherlands, taking on Brownsville, Texas. That should be a dandy ball game. Our first chance to see the defending champions here in the tournament. In for a strike. Count now 1-2 on Ruiz. Where's number 4? Here's the pitch. Driven up the middle, short, slides over. That's Rem. He bobbles it, so Ruiz is going to leg out a single. And once again, Mexico has something brewing. You can hear the fans in the background getting a little excited here. So Carlos Tisnado, number 9, at the plate. He struck out looking back in the 2nd. In the 5th, he walked. He scored one of the 4 runs in the fifth inning. So Mexico ready to make some more noise here in the 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Tosnado tries to bunt, bunts it foul. Last second, dropped the bat down as the foul came straight back. 0-1, the count. 6 o'clock this evening will be the first chance to see Covina, California, when they take on South Korea. Both California and the Netherlands received byes into the 2nd round. Netherlands were the European zone champions. And Covina, California, the West zone of the United States champions. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Carlos Tisnado rather. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Curveball misses inside. So it's 2-1 now. Ruiz at first. Just a moderate lead over at first base. Tisnado ready on the back. Has his foot on the back line of the batter's box. 3-1. You know right here that Willen wants to throw a strike. You know right here that Tisnado is probably setting fastball on the 3-1 pitch. Here it is, and it's driven in the gap in left center field. Left fielder does a good job to hold that to a single as Ruiz is held at second. Adán Osuna gets the single. And so nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. And the first 2 have reached for Mazatlán, Mexico. Adán Osuna steps in. Grounded out to the shortstop in the 2nd inning. He struck out looking in the 5th inning. Has a chance to drive one in here for Mexico and pull them within 4. As he swings, pops it up on the infield. The catcher, Brady, can he get to it? Oh, he had to dive for it at the last second, and he had it in the glove, and he hit the dirt, and the ball pops out. And he pounds his hand on the AstroTurf here at Renton One Park. Great effort from Dempsey, rather, not Brady. Jackson Dempsey is catching. So we'll reset. 1 strike on Adán Osuna from the right side. Here's the pitch by Willen. It's popped up again. Dempsey's going to have an opportunity, but it's going to be the 3rd baseman to handle it, and he loses it, and it hits the ground, and they're calling infield fly rule. So the batter is out. Batter is out. Infield fly. So that's the first out as the 3rd baseman. He lost it in the sun. He was parked under it, and then at the last second, lost it. Sergio Sedano now hits from the left side with 2 on. Still at 1st and 2nd. 1 out. Swings at the first pitch from Willen. Strike 1. Crowd starting to really get into this game. At one time it was 9-0 North Carolina, but Mexico was pulled to within 5. They have 1 out, 2 runners on here in the top of the 6th. Sergio Sedano at the plate. Struck out in the 2nd, singled in the 5th, and scored 1 of the 4 runs. Here's the pitch to Sedano. Struck him out. Looking. Terry Erickson, the umpire, has the most delayed strikeout call. It takes about 5 seconds to figure out what's going on. So we have a pinch hitter. It's number 21. Jose Carrion in for Armenta. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Inside. Jose Carrion hitting here in the 6th inning. Swings it one way outside and sees the counts even up. Excuse me, 1 strike, 2-1 now on Carrion. He wears number 21, hits from the right side, lines this one toward short. Shortstop, Ram gets it. That's going to hold everybody in place. So the bases now are loaded for Mexico, and they're back to the top of the order, and that is Orlando Estrada.
Second baseman, number 4, Orlando Estrada.
Ruiz is at third. Cisnado at second. Carrion is at first. Bases are juiced. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. And Mexico finds itself down 9-4. Estrada flew out to left in the first, struck out looking in the third, and singled in the 5th. A big moment here for Mexico. If they could score a couple more runs. That one's right down the middle for a strike. 69-mile-an-hour curveball from Willen. Eli Willen is the pitcher for North Carolina. Works from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Fooled Estrada. As he had kind of half swing, half effort. He didn't know what was going on. It's a strike nonetheless, and he's down 0-2 here in the 6th inning. Willen, the pitch. Lines it into left field. That's going to get down. It's going to score 1 run, and it's over the left fielder's head. It goes about 10, 15 feet behind him. 2 runs have scored. Here's the 3rd run to score as the stand-up double by Estrada clears the bases. And Mexico has fought their way back into this game, and they're not done yet. So the score now is 9-7, and here comes the coach for North Carolina, Brett Garrett, the manager, out. As he's going out to look at his left fielder, that is McConaughey, Patty McConaughey, out there. He came up limping just a little bit as the ball hopped in front of him. It bounced in front of him, and he jumped, and the ball tipped off his glove, and then he kind of landed awkward. So the manager out to check on his left fielder. The umpire is out there with him. It's the infield for Carolina is on the pitcher's mound. McConaughey slowly trying to work out that right foot. Almost seems like it's an ankle. All right, so McConaughey is going to come out of the game. So we'll have some defensive changes here. The entire coaching staff from Mexico approaches the home plate umpire. This is the same thing that happened last night's game, the late night game with Southern Illinois. This squad from Mexico, there was some late questions of the umpires. Then Steve Miller had to come in and answer those. Lengthy delays. in a game that didn't get over until almost midnight. Now they wanted all the umpires over there. So Estrada, the base is clearing double. He's on one knee at second base, waiting this out. We'll take a break. We'll be back in just a moment. So whatever the discussion was between the coaching staff of the Mexican team and the umpires, apparently has been resolved, as it was Estrada with the big double to clear the bases, scoring 3 here in the top of the 6th inning. Jonathan Bernal steps in now with 2 outs. Runner at second, down 2. As Estrada steals and he slides in head first under the tag, he's at third base. Thank you. One ball, no balls, 1 strike. Runner at third, ball hit up the middle and it's snagged by Willen. He's able to flip toward first base and that's going to end. So we're ready here in the bottom of the 6th inning. This is number 11 for North Carolina, Derek Martinez. As he takes 2 strikes, game has suddenly become pretty intense as Mexico has climbed back in this. They were down 9-0 going into the 5th inning. They've climbed back to 9-7 as Martinez gets just a piece of that pitch to stay alive. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Outfield playing straight away, infield straight up as well. Rios in left, Cedano in center, Carrion in right, Ruiz at third, Bernal, and that ball's hit toward the gap in left center field, and it gets down. Here goes Martinez. He's making his way around second. He's going to try and chug his way into third to relay. It could be in time, but he overthrows, and Martinez leads off with the triple here in the 6th inning for North Carolina. Ball went all the way to just under the Toyota sign in left center field. That's a stand-up triple for Martinez, and that's going to bring up shortstop Isaiah Rem. Struck out in the first, walked in the second, struck out in the 4th. Looking for his first hit with a runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cedano still pitching for Mexico. Catches the outside corner with the strike, 0-1. Second one, it's driven toward center. Cedano camps under it, makes the catch. But that's enough to bring Martinez home as they won't get him on the relay. So now it's 10-7. On the fly out to center field. The first out here. That's a sacrifice for Bram. So here's Dempsey at the plate. He came in the fourth inning. We're in the sixth. Where's number 19? Bats from the right side. He singled his first time up. That was in the fourth. Pitch outside. Runs the count 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. Two and one out here in the bottom of the sixth. One run already across. That ball's hit in the hole on the left side by Dempsey. He rounds big at first and comes back. A single, hard hit single for Dempsey. So two of the three batters here in the sixth inning would hit the ball hard. This is going to be the pitcher, Eli Willen. Started off as the designated hitter in the game. Now he's the pitcher. As they try, they say they got Dempsey at first is on the pickoff. And two down now. It was close. Looked like they got him. The ump was standing right there on top of it. So instead of one out and a runner on, nobody on with two outs. And Eli Willen at the plate. Willen flew out to center in the second. He batted twice in the second, grounded out to first. His second at plate appearance, nice slow curveball. Two was too high apparently. 2-0 from Tisnado. He singled in the fourth inning. Willen looks at the pitch, drives it towards center field. That's going to get down for a single. So he just keeps on going. So instead of having two on now, it's just one after the single from Willen. It's going to bring up right fielder, number 13, Gus Hughes. He came on in the fourth inning as well. He hits from the right side with two outs. Hits a long fly ball toward left. Rios goes back on it. It's over his head off the wall as Willen stops at third. Hughes stops at second. Two runners in scoring position for North Carolina on the stand-up double. He drove that ball to deep left center field over the head of the left fielder Rios. He has to play it off the hop on the wall. So Devin Tompkins steps in, walked in the second, grounded out in the third, and he grounded out in the fifth inning. He has a chance to drive in two. Bouncer to second with two outs. They get him in time as Estrada throws to Villalobos, and it goes 4-3 to end the inning and the threat from North Carolina. They do score one here in the sixth inning. We are heading to the top of the seventh, and North Carolina leads it 10-7. Top of the seventh here at Brentwood Park. It's Dave McKenzie on a Saturday afternoon, about 20 after 2 Central Time. This has turned into a dandy ball game. It was a blowout early. As a matter of fact, it was a blowout all the way until the fifth inning. North Carolina had a 9-0 lead, but Mexico has climbed back in it within the last two innings. Top of the seventh, this is Rafael Villalobos at the plate. Now he's battling some cramping out there. It is hot on that field. He walked in the first, flew out in the fourth, grounded out in the fifth, but he drives this one to left field, and the left fielder reaches up. That is Lee and makes the catch. One down here in the top of the seventh. Nice play by Lee. That ball was hit right on the money, and Villalobos, you can see, he stops right between home and first as he reaches up toward that hamstring in the back. He's cramping up. He's going to lay down. They're going to have to stretch him out here for just a second.
Now batting, number 27, Jesus Rios.
Villalobos is being assisted to the dugout now. He's been cramping up for about the last 3 innings. He'll go into the dugout, get stretched out. It's hard, I can tell you. Being on the field when it's 90, 95 degrees. Outside, that temperature on the field is 110 to 115. Shoot, sometimes it's even 120 to 125. And right now it's 92 degrees in southern Illinois. So I imagine it's probably about 120 out there. Here's the first pitch to Jesus Rios. He came into the game back in the 5th inning. Willen keeps firing. Eli Willen, number 21, trying to earn the save now. It's 10-7. North Carolina with the 3-run lead. Strikes out. Rios looking for the second out of the inning. And now Carlos Ruiz will step in. Ruiz, 1 for 2 in the game. Struck out looking in the second. Walked in the 5th. Singled in the 6th. But it's come down to their last out here in this contest. And if they lose, that's 2 losses for Mexico. Ball in the dirt. Ball 1. So we'll look at where this winds up. Swung on and miss. 0-2. So the loser of this game ball is hit on the ground toward first. It's kind of in between. Does the pitcher get it? He does. He grabs it with his glove and flips it to first. It goes 1-3, and this game is over.